the thing in the back of my head for a long time was like, how would I talk about my pain? And it turns out that how I would talk about it is how it directly affected the work I was doing, because I was working through pain. And so the pain literally channels through the art. So I have been wanting to experiment for a while with monoprinting using what are called jelly plates. They're basically, if you can think about like Jello, like clear Jello pressed into like, let's say a 5x7 like inch thick plate. You can use that plate. You can put basically acrylic ink on it. Basically then use that, you slap that onto some paper and you rub the paint off of the plate onto the paper. And it's called a monoprint because you can only do one print off of it. So it's interesting. So I have this new setup for this and I was new to it and I had my friend over and we were just experimenting and playing and we were doing it for hours. And as I'm sitting in my chair and moving around and blah, 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 my back's getting worse and worse and worse. And I get to the end of the day and I was experimenting not just with it being monoprinting, but also getting into monochromatic prints and just kind of experimenting with shapes. And I got to a place where I was experimenting. I thought I wanted to get a lot of interesting black on white shapes. By the time I got to this print, my back had wrenched in such a way that I was just in tremendous pain. And so this is actually weirdly partially an expression of the pain I was in after doing art for 4 hours. And that's why it made sense, because it is the pain I was feeling is sort of like embedded in this print. It's extra sort of poignant for me because this is the exact thing I wanted to be doing. I wanted to be spending all my time doing this. It's one thing to be like, you know, oh, I'm doing something I hate and my back hurts, but to do something I love that's so meaningful to me and then have that be so interrupted and have the thing that I was doing cause the pain. So that's what happened there. But when I look at it now, it just kind of looks like the phases of my relationship, and the black, even though I love black and I wear black every time, it just evokes that for me. Like feeling one way in 1 minute and another way in another minute. And also just for me, the progression of how I felt all day, this thing just weirdly came out and then showed itself to me instead of me going in and trying to make it. I mean, look at the one in the middle. This long-bodied tiny head, is it always going to feel like my brain says, oh, that's me in these phases, or that's me trapped by pain. Like, okay, cool. If I make 20 of these and put them on a textile, like on a home deck fabric, am I always going to see that image? I think the thing that I would observe in direct relation to that is that it's all changing, right? Because I do predominantly interpret this as different stages of the same entity. And so if I look at that, maybe it looks trapped, but also it's evolving. And I remember pulling this print off the plate and just sitting down and being like, I'm done. That's it. I'm done. It absolutely, for me, encapsulates that moment that had been building up over 4 hours and 4 years. But I still want to transform it. I still want to do something with it. And I'm excited to see kind of where all this goes, because I think there's a lot of power in being visible to other folks who kind of have these experiences. And there's so many of us. I never want to just settle in and say, well, this is my pain forever. I want to figure out what to do next with it. So I think that's very parallel for me.